approaches.
Hello, reminder ShotYaInDaJunk, and today I got some pretty big news for you guys as far as the Taken King goes. So, first things first, Nolan North is now the new voice of the Ghost instead of Peter Dinklage. And to be fair, I really like Nolan North's voice, and I think it would fit the Ghost perfectly.
Bravo team.
And he's probably a lot cheaper to get back than it is to get Peter Dinklage, so we'll actually be seeing more of the Ghost. Isn't that good? There are 8 new story missions that Bungie is calling the first act of the Taken King, and then there will be a host of other quests and bounty chains that you can get from various vendors at the Reef and Tower. One example of these endgame quests, Unsealed Paradox, a mission set inside the Vault of Glass. That's all about a certain dude by the name of Predif. You know that guy's sniper you like to use a lot? Or that pulse rifle? Yeah. There's also a raid called the King's Fall, and Bungie is hyping it up to hell. Lots of little touches here and there. Nolan North as the Ghost will be interacting with Erismorn and Zavala and other various characters as you play. You'll be able to examine random objects during missions for a little blast of lore, Bungie says. Maybe this is how they'll implement all those Grimoire cards. You know, maybe similar to like how Diablo handles their lore books, where you can go in at any point in time into your menu system, click on a lore book, and have it just read to you in the background as you play. They're reorganizing all story missions too, to better incorporate the stuff from The Dark Below and House of Wolves into the main quest lines. The Reef, for example, will now open up once you meet the Awoken Queen in that one cutscene. Members of the Taken, the new enemy race, have all sorts of abilities. Taken Wizards, for example, will summon Shadow Thralls to kill you. Taken Vandals have Titan Defender-like shields, and Taken Captains throw orbs that can temporarily blind you. So it's like a Nova Bomb mixed with a Helm of Saint. Good luck. There are 4 new strikes, the Fallen Saber. On Earth you'll fight against the superpowered Shank. Shankburn, anyone? Shield Brothers. On the Dreadnought you'll take out 2 Cabal leaders. Sunless Cell. Hunt down a Hive Darkblade who rebelled against Oryx. And Echo Chamber. This is the PlayStation exclusive one. It's yet another Vex Mind. Real strikes are also getting remixed. Dust Palace, Undying Mind, and Cerberus Fae. These new strikes have raid light mechanics, Bungie says, or in other words, you won't just be killing waves of enemies. And since developers are well aware of how repetitive strikes are, they're triggering these new and revised strikes to change up enemies and even narrations on replays, which could be either really great or really irritating. So that basically means the strikes from now on will not be pull out your Dinkle bot, well I guess it's not a Nolan bot, and kill 3 waves of enemies and move on. They will have similar mechanics to a raid, but not as difficult as a raid, which is really good. Year 1 legendary weapons will go obsolete fast. Bungie says that when you load up the Taken King, you might even find white or green weapons with higher attack values than your Port 365 Fatebringers or Vision of Consoles. I have one thing to say about this. It's a good change, but don't dismantle your guns just yet. But the way they handled Etheric Light, and people were pretty upset when they had already dismantled their Shadow Prices and Vanquishers and the Devil You Know and all that stuff. Just hold on to them for now. I don't know how long you should hold on to them, but it's up to you whether you dismantle them or not. It's my warning here now. You never know how Bungie reacts to these things. You'll be able to turn in your bounties without going back to the vendor. This pretty much gives the tower a new meaning. The gunsmith in the tower will have his own reputation meter and bounties. Work with him enough and you'll be able to order weekly weapon deliveries. Sounds really neat, right? Once a week you can pay him for a new legendary weapon, which will arrive on Wednesday with a random set of new perks. So if you're having trouble getting your hands on a legendary weapon, it'll happen eventually. Just save up your glimmer, hit the glimmer cap, buy a weapon from him, and special delivers, and you'll get it next Wednesday. Lots of reputation and materials are getting streamlined. Vanguard and Crucible marks are turning into one pool called Legendary Marks. while all class armor materials like plasteel plating, hadronic essence, sapphire wire will all morph into one material called armor materials. As far as raising the cap on the new legendary marks goes, I'm just gonna assume it's 400. There's no number for this. It would suck if it stayed at 200 unless they lowered the pricing of all the armor and weapons that the vendors carry. No new vault space yet. Luke Smith says to Game Informer, we're still bumping into a technical limitation for vault space. We're exploring options for getting stuff out of players' inventories via these kiosks that we've placed around the tower, but we're still working toward a solution that we're excited about. So what they've basically done is similar to how Borderlands handles their shaders. That's how it will be handled in the Taken King. That's one thing the tower is used for. You just go to like something similar to where you do your vault stuff, and you just click the shader you want. Bada bing, bada boom, there you go. You can also pledge your faction. So you can just go pledge your faction, and it doesn't matter what class item you're wearing, you'll be working for that faction. There's also a new exotic pulse rifle called No Time to Explain. Yeah. It's basically the Stranger's Rifle, but it does arc damage, which is really cool. It looks just like the Stranger's Rifle too. And I just hope it's a fun gun to use. That's all I really care about. I love how Bungie can joke about themselves like this. This is where I think they separate themselves from other developers. Lots of other new exotics coming too, like Sleeper Simulant, a heavy weapon fusion rifle that shoots bouncy laser blasts. You'll have to do a whole quest line filled with puzzles, Bungie says, actual puzzles, to get this one. Crucible quest lines are coming, as are new Crucible bounty types. Trials of Osiris will get its own set of bounties, and you'll be able to play through an array of weekly Crucible bounties that eventually lead you to exotic caliber rewards. I'm guessing this is their answer to a Crucible like Nightfall, where a dedicated Crucible player will be rewarded with random exotic or legendary. This is in addition to all the new PvP maps, all 8 of them, and at least 3 new game modes. The Dreadnought sounds pretty good. Like, it's full of more interesting content than most patrol zones that are in Destiny today. Luke Smith says, through your adventuring on the Hive ship, you're going to find a bunch of arcane objects that you can use to summon ultra bosses. Hell yeah. Now, I've been reading, my source is the Kotaku article about the Taken King. So, a lot of things are going to sound similar. I am basically reading it off, but I'm injecting my own opinion on a lot of these too, and I even added a little bit. One last thing before I go, Guardians. I forgot to mention that light levels are going away. Your current gear, the year 1 gear, will be forever stuck at light level 42 and 365 attack, as far as we know. And the new level cap is 40, and you get there via experience, not your armor, your experience. But remember, a level 40 wearing legendaries and exotics will not be the same as a level 40 wearing common or uncommon gear. You still want to go for the best gear you can possibly get your hands on. Thank you all for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and fuck it, I don't do outros.